What's going on, family? Shalom, shalom. As you guys see, I am not here alone. I am here with my beautiful wife here. Welcome back, baby.
Thank you.
Yes.
Shalom.
So, in this video, welcomes to members only, guys. You are going to be the ones that hear our experience here in Mauritius giving birth, right? It was a good experience overall, but we kind of just want to we want to give you guys a little bit more details of what that inquires and stuff. And yeah, like it's something that you have to know how to move around, especially when you are needing to go to the hospital. Because if you guys don't know, we have given 2 home births here on the continent, in Tanzania. The total births, 4 hospital births and 2 home births. So this will be our 4th hospital birth, or your 4th hospital birth. And yeah, I guess tell them how you feeling. Tell them how everything went and stuff.
Well, we were having contractions that were coming, but they weren't coming consistently. And then they finally started to come consistently. So we went to the hospital, but the hospital we went to, which is the one that our doctor is at, it only had 2 beds that were available.
Yeah.
So that hospital is just 15 minutes away from our house. So that was like the one that we really wanted to go to. But we had to go further into the main city, Port Louis, which is about 30 minutes from our house.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not bad. It's like 30 minutes. But when we lived in Ohio, we were like always 10, 15 minutes away from the hospital. So we did have to drive a little further, but it was fine.
Yeah.
And then we got to the hospital in Port Louis, and it was, what time was it? It was maybe, they said it was 2:06 when we checked in.
Yeah, but they gave us the paperwork a little bit later, so I'm not sure. I know we left the house, but Vic came around like 12:10, I think.
Yeah.
So it probably was around
it probably
like
was 2:06. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the time they checked us in. Then we were talking to the people at the other hospital, so it probably was about 2:06. Mm-hmm. So it was 2:06 a.m. in the morning, and I always tell you that all of our children come at night.
Yeah,
they just do.
Or in the morning.
You're like, oh, they might come in the morning. I'm like, they're not. I'm not going to go into labor in the morning. I've never gone into labor in any type of morning ever.
Yeah, I guess the only reason why I was saying that because, like I say, that's 2:00 in the morning. Mm-hmm. That's hard to kind of get transportation and stuff because it's not like we have a car and stuff. We have to call our taxi, but our taxi actually, he was there for us. We called him. He was right here. Maybe I want to say that was the fastest that he came.
Right. Well, yeah. He said he, for whatever reason, he thought it was meant to be that night because he was just falling asleep.
Exactly.
But you called and he was like, okay.
Yeah, he said his wife picked up and said, hey, you need to go. I think they wouldn't be calling you this late. I think you need to go. So, yeah, it worked out. And, like, the thing with this site, I like him because he drives slow. He's very careful. Big van, and he's just right there every step of the way. So that was just awesome. So that, I guess that's the only reason why I was like hoping to have birth in the daytime, but yeah,
I never go into labor in the daytime. So we were there at 2:06 a.m. in the room, and it looked very cozy, very nice. Mm-hmm. So you go to the room, but this is the maternal room, so they didn't take you straight to like the room you're going to deliver in, which was so crazy to me. That didn't make sense. That made me mad.
Oh man.
Because I'm like, the contractions are coming faster now. So at first they weren't that painful. At first it was fine. But then out of nowhere, I was 4 centimeters dilated, and then I dilated to 10 centimeters by the next hour and a half.
Yeah.
So the pain came very quickly out of nowhere. Very, very painful, literally out of nowhere. And so I'm telling them like, hey, I need an epidural. She's like, oh, you're not really in pain. Hey, I need an epidural.
No, before that. So we kind of gonna go back and forth on both our sides. So, I've been there with my wife giving home birth, right? So I know her, right? I know when it's getting close. I know when she turns up to that intensity, or the contraction turns up to that intensity level. So she started screaming like I never heard before. So I'm looking at the nurses and stuff. I'm like, hey, where's the doctor? She needs the epidural. She's saying that she needs the epidural. So me being the doctor that I was the last two home births, you know, I'm there for her. I'm holding her, I'm rubbing her back, and you know, I'm breathe, baby. I'm like breathe and stuff, breathe. But yeah, no, that was later on. But yeah, so I'm telling her like you guys gotta do. I'm telling the nurses like you guys gotta do something. When my wife is screaming like this, it's getting close. The baby's about to come. Like if I need to be the doctor, it seemed like I'm going to be the doctor. Like you guys gotta step up. She needs the epidural. Call the doctor, or I'm gonna have to like do it. Like I guess that was my mindset when before they try to move you to the other room. I'm like, man, if this baby come, we're gonna have to be prepared. So yeah.
Yeah, because I was in the maternal room after you give birth.
Mm-hmm.
That, and you know, in the States, they don't really do it like that. Now, I can't say what they do in Tanzania. They may do it like that, which is why in Tanzania, I did not want to do a hospital birth. I already knew the nurses were rude. Like, I've already heard, like, you do not want to go into a hospital and give birth in Africa, usually. But I thought Mauritius, I was like, maybe Mauritius will be better. So it'll be all right. So then we go over to the, what do you call that? The labor and delivery room.
Yeah.
So it's just like a small little room. You don't go that far. I don't know. Do you go that far? I don't think.
No, it's probably like 20 meters. I guess like 20, 15 feet, 20 feet away.
Yeah.
Around the corner.
So we went over there, and so I'm still like epidural, because it's so painful now. Like excruciatingly painful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm yelling, deep breathing, not breathing, halfway breathing, trying to breathe. So finally the anesthesiologist, he comes in with the epidural and he just sees everything that's going on. He's like talking to the nurses like, hey, you gotta help her, get up there, you gotta help her.
Yeah, so
the doctors and men are much better than the nurses. Or than that one nurse, because it wasn't all the nurses. It was just that one.
She had to be tired, so I don't know. Like
then she had the IV in her arm. You're like, why you got an IV in your arm? Different. Are you sick?
It was something different I guess dealing with foreigners, they probably like a little bit more hesitant and stuff.
Maybe.
But because I was right there, I was helping her up on a bed. I'm like, okay.
Maybe she was afraid.
Yeah. So I'm like, should I just step back in a little bit and let them do their job? Because they was just slow with it. You know, my wife's in pain. I'm saying this and that. You know, are you going to help her get up? So I had to help her get up. You know, the doctor came in and stuff. So that's when I stepped back and let them try to take over and stuff. And, you know, I'm there just for the water.
Yeah, because the doctor, they knew what to do, obviously, because they're doctors. The doctors in Mauritius are great. They're fabulous. The nurses, they could be a little better, okay? But the doctors are great. So the anesthesiologist, he missed my spine 3 times.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
I didn't realize he was missing my spine, though. You told me that later. I thought it was just going how it was supposed to. Because when you're in that much pain, the needles doesn't bother you until this next part. This is where I've never felt this in my entire life. And then I looked it up later, and it's actually like something that happens in like 0.4% of epidurals.
You gonna say it, or you want me to?
I thought you were gonna keep going. Then I was gonna say.
Okay, yeah, no. So it's a good thing that they allowed me to be like right there, because our previous experience in a government hospital at 35 weeks, right? Man could not be in a room with,
women.
Yeah, women giving birth and stuff. So I was just happy to be there. But I'm intense, guys. When that happens and I'm seeing my wife scream like that, I'm right here next to her, rubbing her back. So as the doctor was putting the needle in her back, I'm literally right here looking at it, and then he's missing it. He missed it like 3 times, and I'm like, "Come on, man! Like, what are you doing?" I don't know if he was. I was like, "Okay, let me calm down, because maybe I'm just a little bit more intense, and just like maybe making him nervous, because He missed it 3 times. You know, he put the needle in and everything, and then he got to put the what's the thing called, like the cord,
Yeah,
like the
the
measuring
epidural
thing.
cord.
Yeah, and he missed it like 3 times. The hole was bigger. It's not like a needle hole where, you know, you got like you can miss. It was a nice little circle that you cannot miss. So yeah, after that I was like, okay, let me calm down, step back, and just give her water. Um, and yeah.
And the pain level is 100 out of 50 at this rate.
Mm.
Literally 100 out of 50. And so then I don't know what he did at this rate, but I've never felt this. I've had epidurals with 3 births, 4 now, but 3 births. And so at this one, I felt all of this pressure. It felt like my spine and my back and my entire right side were going to explode. So I'm like yelling, something's wrong. Like, what is he doing? And then my eye starts to shut like this. You should insert a picture. Just insert the picture. My eye literally starts to shut, and I'm like, what is going on? I was like, did I just have a stroke?
No, it wasn't no stroke, guys.
No, it wasn't a stroke. I looked it up later when we got home. It's called Horner's syndrome. It happens in 0.4% of epidurals. It's very, very rare. When there's too much pressure on the ocular nerve, it'll obviously create that pressure, and then it shuts your eye. So there was a lot of pressure, but then also my blood pressure was high because I was in a lot of pain. So they kept taking my blood pressure, but then obviously with an epidural, your blood pressure decreases. So then the issue is they want to make sure that your blood pressure doesn't decrease too much. And I never have high blood pressure. But I was in a lot of pain. And I was yelling, and I was trying to breathe, and I couldn't breathe.
How did they take your blood pressure though? I think that was important too, especially like since you're saying this now.
Yeah, what do you mean?
They got to put the cuff on her arm, and they had the machine. They kept pressing it, kept checking it. You get what I'm saying? So all this pressure, squeezing, releasing. Oh, check again. 2 minutes. Squeezing, releasing. Oh, could you check her blood pressure again? Squeezing, releasing. Sometimes.
Yeah, but he just wanted to make sure that I wasn't about to die.
Yeah.
Usually in the ICU, they will do that.
Yeah.
They'll check it 2 to 5 minutes if you're like intensive care.
Yeah. I guess that was just a little bit different because I remember.
You never seen them do that.
Yeah, and it's like they got the machines and everything, right?
What do you mean?
With they put it on your finger like a little clip.
No, it's not blood pressure. That's your oxygen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But it just seemed like they was just doing it a lot.
Yeah, they will. If you're in like an emergency situation, obviously they're not going to tell you it's an emergency situation in the moment. But if they're like really want to make sure you're not about to pass out, they're going to take your blood pressure over and over. Because I've had to do it when I was a teenager working at Children's Hospital. We would have it automatic. We would click it, and then it would check it literally every 5 minutes. If the children had just come up from the ICU, the intensive care unit. But yeah, so the epidural went through. First they gave me morphine, then they gave me Tylenol. I'm like, I don't even know why you're fooling with that stuff. That stuff is not going to do anything. Then finally the epidural. So it kicked in maybe 30 minutes after all of that. So while I'm pushing, I can pretty much feel everything. Because I can still move my legs. If I can still move my legs with an epidural, it's not really epiduraling the way it should. Because in the States, if you get an epidural, or at least in Ohio with the doctors I had, it like you won't be able to walk. Your legs will just completely be numb. Everything's 100% numb. So I was maybe 25% numb.
Yeah, and
because I felt everything.
Yeah, and I'll say this because you got to know, like, when doctors and nurses, they deal with foreigners, they're going to be a little bit more hesitant. So they had like this machine where they had the epidural in, and it was slowly like pushing milliliters every hour in a way. So it was slowly pushing, giving her more and more. Yeah. So they would turn it up. Hey, are you feeling? Can you move your legs? Could you do that? Okay, turn it up for her so she get more a little bit faster. Yeah. So I know she was going through it, but I was paying attention to everything. I'm like, what is this that you're giving her?
Like, I'm like,
what is that? What is this? Yeah. So I know that was just something that I noticed, and I'm like, okay, at least they didn't be like, here's all of it. Like, yeah. Not bad, yeah.
Yeah, no, the doctors in Mauritius are good. The doctors are really great. They know what to
Hmm.
do. But yeah, so then I started pushing.
No, before you started pushing,
What?
they broke her water. I
Oh,
know
okay.
she was going through it.
Yeah, I don't know what
So I'm paying
happened.
attention.
It's a
They
blur
broke
to
they
me.
broke her water. I'm like, what is this? So the little tool that they use to pop the burst the water. I'm like, oh, the baby's about to come.
And they
The
don't know
baby's about to
that.
come. They no, when her water breaks, the baby is coming. So yeah, just imagine, guys. We get at the hospital around two
It's so
o'clock.
stressful.
We get at the hospital around 2 o'clock. So all this is happening. Her water breaks around like what? I'll say like 4:10.
No, because the baby was born at 4:19.
Yeah. So what do you think? 4 o'clock?
Probably 4:01.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
She was born at 4:19.
Yeah. 4:19. So I think you pushed what 3 times, 4 times?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
3, 4 times.
So yeah, 3, 4 times. She got that head out. The body came out, looking just like our oldest son. I was like,
That was
I'm
so
like,
funny.
babe, she looked like Jeremiah. Oh man, it was a
We gotta
beautiful
insert a picture
experience.
of them right here.
Yeah,
That
it was
is
a
funny.
beautiful experience, but
That
you
was
know,
hilarious.
yeah,
At least it went by fast. In the moment, you're mad. I was mad in the moment. That's probably why my blood pressure was up too. And I don't get mad.
yeah, no, and she don't
Like
scream
I
like
don't
that.
get mad. I don't yell. I'm very respectful. So
Yeah,
by the
I was like,
time
oh, this is
I'm out of
different.
character,
I know. That's why I had to step up. I was about to do the epidural. For real. Y'all think I be playing.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
you were really funny.
But yeah, yeah, it was a beautiful experience. They did everything that nurses do, doctors do, cut the umbilical cord, um, put the baby under the heater. She was screaming. She had some lungs on her already, so
And she was big. I was like, this
big.
baby is huge.
It was 7 pounds 7 ounces, 3.5
kilograms. 7 pounds 7 ounces.
Yeah, 7 pounds 7 ounces. Big baby, eyes open, first day,
Looking around,
looking around, moving her head, everything.
drinking milk nonstop the first
Exactly.
day.
Yeah.
She has no issues with anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like, cause our son Josiah, I was trying to breastfeed him, but I had to get a lactation consultant to help.
Mm.
But that's probably where I really learned how to breastfeed really well. So then after that, all the other children didn't have breastfeeding problems.
Yeah. So.
But you don't have to wake her up, because some babies you have to wake them up. Usually the other babies I had to wake them up to feed, because they'll try to sleep all day. No, if she's hungry, she will wake up and eat 3-4 times before going back to sleep.
Yeah, some ounces, like really. Yeah.
She's gonna be big.
Yeah. She's not even a week. I say 2 days. She'll be a week old. So.
And she's so cute and so funny.
Big baby.
Smiling in her sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Holding our hands.
Getting used to her siblings. Her siblings want to, or I'll say the oldest ones, they really care for her, hold her, make sure, mama can rest and stuff. Yeah. So it's a blessing. It's a blessing. That's why we say, like, just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of things. That's one thing that I do appreciate about, us. We do everything together. You get what I'm saying? Like, and we just do it. like when I start to look back, and it's just like, dang, like, usually we'll have like, mom or dad right there, but it's us right here. So I'm pretty sure they was like, dang, so are their parents going to come or anything like that to, they're pretty young, but yeah, we just do it. That's why we tell people you can't wait on things, you just have to do it. And everything's going to be okay, especially if you have a foundation of the Most High, You know, you have that faith. You know that everything's going to be okay. You believe that everything's going to be okay. You know everything's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And everything worked out right on time. Um, yeah, even with the finances, something just popped up and it was right on time. So, you want to break that down a little bit?
Nope, but we paid
Yeah,
$2,205 for the labor and delivery, which is pretty decent, pretty good. It's about what I expected because if you do the research in Mauritius, they say it's usually $1,500 to $2,000 to go into labor and delivery. I could break down the cost in a different video for each thing, or
yeah,
maybe I'll do a post on members only to break down the cost for each thing because it's like the pediatrician, the OBGYN,
mm-hmm,
this medication, epidural, whatever. They break everything down.
yeah.
But I think that's it for this video. Shalom, shalom. We'll see you in the next one. All praises to the Most High. He is so great. That was a great birth experience. It happened so quickly.
Yeah,
Although it was
2-3
very
hours.
intense in the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah,
But yeah, it was very fast.
yeah. I'm
I'm glad we
surprised.
got there on time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why you gotta listen. You gotta listen.
You just gotta know.
Yep.
Yeah, because it was difficult to know before because I was having contractions every day.
Yeah, yeah.
So every
Leading up
day
to
we
that,
thought,
every
what's the
day.
day?
Yeah, I'm having intense contractions. I'm like, okay, let's count them. We counting every day. So we got to a point like, we not counting it. Just, babe, you gonna have to know. I don't know. You gonna have to really know, cause
I
we
don't
do
know
this
how I
every
knew
night. We do it every night. Count contractions.
because it
Babe,
felt the same as the other ones.
yeah. So.
But I just knew, I guess. It's
Yeah.
just discernment, intuition.
Really, really. So all praises, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this information. Leave your comments below. This video is probably gonna stay behind the scenes for a while. And yeah, like if you are thinking about traveling, moving, you better get on it because there's a lot of things that's happening that's gonna be more expensive or it's gonna be shut down. So yeah, the time is now. The time is now to get on it. So you gotta believe, you gotta trust, and have that faith to do the work. So all praises, and we'll talk to you in the next video, guys. Shalom.
Shalom.